just when you think the Marvel news that's out there couldn't get any crazier, scoopers are now talking about how Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom is going to have a role in Spider-Man 4. And so, of course, we have to talk about that. There are also updates about the setting for Spider-Man 4, and I think there's some really interesting telling details in there. And we've got new reports about Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire being in Spider-Man 4. Like, this is a lot, man. Yesterday, the Spider-Man 4 news was raining from the heavens. And we're going to break all of that down, but stay to the end of the video because there's another scoop that's out there that like nobody's talking about, which I think actually explains what Battle World is going to look like and why we're getting all these weird details about Spider-Man 4. Okay, so let's start with updates about Tobey and Andrew and basically the plot and setting of Spider-Man 4. Now, of course, the TLDR on the last couple of weeks is that Null, the symbiote god, is rumored to be the villain or be involved in Spider-Man 4. Big time rumors that Tom Hardy's Venom is going to show up in Spider-Man 4 as well. And then most recently, other scoopers were teasing Andrew Garfield possibly being in Spider-Man 4. And that was weird too because he was out there making comments to Esquire about wanting to come back, about how his experience on No Way Home was really healing for him. He loves the character. He loves that fans love the character, and so he's willing to come back. Well, just yesterday, the Cosmic Circus put out one of their Discord Q&A articles, and Alex Perez addressed Tobey Maguire and Andrew being in Spider-Man 4 directly, saying that there's a very strong possibility of an extended role for both of them. So here's Alex's exact answer here. He says, I will get an answer for you soon, but as I understand it, Tom will get the symbiote suit in the next few years and may keep it for the next couple of Spidey films. As for Tobey and Andrew, I heard that there is a very strong possibility they show up for an extended role this time around, given the setting of the multiverse saga. Okay, so there are two really interesting factoids in that answer. Number one, Tom Holland's going to be getting the Venom symbiote, and he's going to have it for the next couple of years. That probably includes the Battle World movies, Spider-Man 4, maybe Doomsday, and maybe Avengers Secret Wars. And that tracks. That makes a lot of sense because Sony wants to build up the symbiote. They're doing this stuff in Venom 3 with Noel, and they want a connection there to Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and especially because Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going to be playing this massive freaking role in the next couple of years leading up to Secret Wars. It just makes sense that both studios want the symbiote suit. They want Tom to be in it. Now, the question is, will other people be in the symbiote suit as well? And a lot of people want to see this, especially with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Like Rob from Comics Explained was talking about this on Twitter. I think it's a great idea. But as for now, no actual reports or even suggestions from the scoopers or insiders that is happening. Now, we also need to talk about how an extended role for Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire is very likely on the table, or I guess the way Alex said it is that it's a strong possibility. And this also makes sense. I mean, we've been talking about how Sony and Marvel have been fighting about the plot of Spider-Man 4 for like over a year. Some people at Marvel wanted it to be very grounded in street level. That was all connected to Kingpin and Daredevil. But now, of course, they're hard pivoting into RDJ Doctor Doom, multiversal goodness. And the Spider-Man 4 movie now takes place after Avengers Doomsday. So because of the setting of being in the multiverse saga, that's what Alex said in his report, because of the setting, you're very likely to have Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire have an extended role. That possibly means even more of a role than they had in Spider-Man No Way Home. And that sounds freaking amazing. I love the Spider-Boys, but I also have trouble figuring out how this movie could be taking place in New York City, be multiversal in scope, have an extended role for Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and also have RDJ Doctor Doom in it. What the is this movie? And that nicely takes us into our next report, because Alex was also asked about the setting of the film, and he gave a really weird answer talking about how the movie is set in New York City, but it will be cosmic. So the question that Alex is asked here is about the multiverse and street level question. The person asking the question says, so Venom and Noel cover the multiverse part. What part will be the street level elements in Spider-Man 4? And Alex answers, it's set in New York City. With each passing day, it becomes more and more multiversal than street level. At this point, I dare say it's leaning slightly cosmic than street. These things, especially with pre-production, shift so much, so I try to update them as best I can on the fly as they happen. I know it's annoying for many of you, but let's wait until later on to get more solid confirmation. Okay, that's crazy. That's a really weird answer. I mean, I understand what he's saying about production. This is something that we all need to keep in mind as we follow the breadcrumbs, rumors, and leaks that come out from these insiders and scoopers. It's important to understand they're getting information in real time, usually, and production is dynamic. Production changes. I mean, think about how much movies like Captain America Brave New World have changed. See all my recent videos about how that post-credit scene will set up the leader as the person who knows about RDJ's Doctor Doom. What? But more to the point and the heart of the question, Alex is saying that Spider-Man 4 is set in New York City. However, it's obviously going to have these crazy multiversal elements, and he's saying it's leaning into cosmic. So how could the movie be set in New York City and also be multiversal and cosmic? Well, I think the answer there lies in the creation of Battle World or the Battle World universe. Because the simple answer is that there will be a New York City in Battle World or within the Battle World universe. But hold on to that thought, because I want to talk about RDJ's Doctor Doom for a minute here, and I think this is going to pull this whole thing together. So the craziest news of the day yesterday was my time to shine hello saying that Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom will have a role in Spider-Man 4. And that is absolutely insane. I mean, now it looks like Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom will be showing up in the Fantastic Four movie, then he will be showing up in Doomsday, then he will be showing up in Spider-Man 4, and then he will be showing up in Avengers Secret Wars. And I tend to believe he might be showing up in more than that. And even if he's not in all these other movies or projects, I think his presence will be felt throughout everything Marvel is doing when they get to Doomsday, while they are doing the Battle World movies, and then when they do Secret Wars. Now, we know Marvel Studios wants to pit RDJ's Doctor Doom directly against Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I believe that the idea of an anchor being is something that was introduced to kind of allow this to happen. It's also a way for them to take iconic characters from past franchises and give them some level of importance, and that's kind of paid off in Deadpool and Wolverine. But really, the sacred timeline is shaping up to be an anchor universe for the entire multiverse, and I believe Tom Holland will be the anchor being of the sacred timeline. That's likely why Doctor Doom needs to either kill Tom Holland or take his power or something like that. And right now, my current theory is that that will be paid off in Doomsday. That will be what Doctor Doom is trying to do. He's trying to get Tom Holland Spider-Man and siphon off his anchor being power or kill him so that then Doctor Doom can take control of the sacred timeline and therefore totally recreate the multiverse in his image. I know we're getting lost in the nerdy weeds here, but this is all stuff that has backing from insiders and little scoops and reports. So that seems to be the direction that Marvel Studios is going in. But I guess the question would be, how do we then go from a Doomsday movie into a Spider-Man 4 movie that involves Null, other symbiotes, Venom, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield, and also has a role for Doctor Doom? Like, how could that possibly be happening? And how could that also be set in New York City and be grounded in some way? Well, now I got to talk to you about the really crazy report, the really crazy scoop that not a lot of people are talking about, that I think actually teases how this all fits together and what this Battle World universe is going to look like. Yesterday, My Time to Shine Hello said Marissa Tomei is going to return as Aunt May in Spider-Man 4. Now, walk with me on this one, because I think this is actually insane. We know that she died in Spider-Man No Way Home. She was killed. That was a huge catalyst for Peter as a character. It's a huge plot point in the movie. It sucks that she's gone. Peter is now completely out on his own. And so this would be her coming back to life. And how could she come back to life? Why would she come back to life? Well, I think she would come back to life if Doctor Doom recreated the sacred timeline. So what if Peter Parker just wakes up and he's in New York and everything's just normal, and then Aunt May is there as well? And maybe we, the audience, are like, this isn't right. This is a fake reality. This is not real. Doctor Doom did this. Holy crap. And maybe Peter slowly realizes that. Maybe that's how the movie could start street level, and he's just there, and it's just this new universe, one in which Aunt May never died, and yet Tom Holland's Spider-Man begins to figure out that that's not real, that this is a fake reality. I think that would be a really cool emotional beat, because it would mean that our Spider-Man would have to basically give up Aunt May in order to have the actual universe back. And that would suck, dude. Like, that would be very painful for Peter Parker. I don't even know if he'd be able to do it. It's kind of similar to Uncle Ben in the Across the Spider-Verse movies, right? Like, you've got to let Uncle Ben die, or in the case of Miles Morales, he has to let his father die. And it could also be this super twisted thing that RDJ Doctor Doom did purposely to stop Peter from wanting to destroy the new universe. And maybe Doctor Doom isn't even on Earth, right? Maybe he's out like on Asgard or out there in the cosmos. And in this new universe, everybody just says, yeah, God Doom is out there. He's out there keeping us safe and shit like that. But maybe the spider people connected to the totems understand that this is not the way Destiny is supposed to go. And then they all team up, do some multiversal stuff. They're going to go get God Emperor Doom. But oh wait, Noel's there and he's going to stop them. Look, there's a lot of things we got to figure out. I'm just spitballing ideas around, but I do believe that this thing with Marissa Tomei and her coming back as Aunt May is a possible teasing and indication that a universe is going to be recreated with people being alive that were dead before, a completely new universe. And I really am leaning in the direction of that being Battle World. Like, it's not this crazy like thing with dukes and castles and, you know, the reshaped reality. Maybe it's just a new Earth. It's a new Earth that Doom creates, and it's a fake Earth, but it is an actual like universe. Like, it's not so crazy that it's unrecognizable. Therefore, we can still have street level stuff and then get into some cosmic multiversal stuff. But either way you slice it, these are insane reveals. Robert Downey Jr. being in Spider-Man 4. That's insane to me. Like, I can't wrap my head around how exactly that will work, but it gets me excited thinking about the possibilities. Toby and Andrew being in that as well, and Venom and Noel. Like, dude, Spider-Man 4 is seemingly more hype than Avengers Doomsday at this point. Like, this is absolutely insane. And I think it's so cool that we're all going to be very excited to see what Doomsday is. And then a couple of months later, we get to see Spider-Man freaking 4. Dude, I'm telling you, that's peak, dude. That is going to be peak MCU time once again. It's like we're going back to phase 3. We're getting ready for Infinity War and Endgame. Holy shit! Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video.